Hello again, you are welcome to this class. Last class we talked about the style panel, so today we're going to have a look at the color point. The color points are a very interesting tool because with the color points tool, there is a lot more power you have. So I will demonstrate the use. Normally when you have a gradient, the downside of having a gradient is that it's not animatable. So let's say I have a gradient selected here before. Let's select some points. So now you see when I move my shape, the gradient stays in place. Alright, so it's not really useful when we have an animation that's going to be moving around. So I would have to go back and animate my gradients to give me that control, right? So I have to like animate these points, which is not the best thing to do. So the color points are a better way of creating gradients because they stay fixed to the shape no matter where the shape goes. First and foremost, I will have to disable my gradient so I can apply the color points. The color points tool works with the points tool, so I will select some of these points. Okay, these are going to be the points that are going to have a color change. So I will select the color points tool and then I can change the color. So I'll use, let's color pick something similar to this and then I press OK, and then you could see the influence it has. I could reduce the strength of this so it blends with the color underneath. So I reduce this a bit more, and when I reduce it, you see the color reduces influence. Okay, so you see now that when I move my shape, it goes with it. Okay, and if you're looking a bit pixelated, if you have more points, all right, that's going to make it better for you to have more control. Another quick tip is that when you have, I could create more points in this shape. Those points can act as a guide for me. All right, so let's try that quickly. Let's clear. All right, so let's just add some extra points, maybe here, here, and maybe here. Just give some extra points around here. I'm going to also create, let's say, extra points inside, but I want to first and foremost make this to be just a normal vector. Okay, so it's still there, just not doesn't have a field and a line anymore. So I'm going to then create more points, maybe around here. This is just for me to have more control over my shape. So with this point, I think I'm done. So I'm going to, I don't want any lines, so I'm going to disable the stroke. So now I can select these points, this and this, and then I can make it a shape. Again, using the create shape tool, I just want a fill. Alright, and then I create a shape. So now I can go back and apply my color points to just these points. I want these points. Alright, I think that's fine. Then I come here. I'm going to maybe use this reference So now you see the points have been added, and I can fine-tune the controls I have based on these points. You see? So that's why I added extra points, to give me more control. So the more points you have, the more control you have over your color. And like I always tell you, you have to render it out to see how it really looks, right? But this is just a quick preview that we have. So we could see how well this is going. So you see we could have more control over our shape. Alright, so I think it's quite simple. So this gives me way more control than before, because now this is gonna follow me everywhere. Alright, I don't have that issue of the colors being hidden. So I can do the same for other parts of my character. Maybe this arm, I could also have the same thing. Just select maybe this. Alright, could reduce the strength, maybe 0.5. Let's do 0.2. Yeah, let's try this. Select this, and then I color pick this. So you can see our character. Very, very interesting. You see how far we have come. So you can add more assets. Maybe you want your character to have like a sword or something. You could do the same. I could make a new layer and then maybe draw a sword. I could use this tool, add points tool. Let us maybe draw this like so. Obviously not what I want. Change the type of curvature to be like this. Alright, so now I can move this around. I want some fill instead. Alright, maybe I want to have more points to my shape. We do that. So let's see. And then I can select these points. Maybe this. Which are these points. I'll scale them up like so, and then I'll change the curvature to be like this. Maybe same for this. Okay, maybe same for this. Then I could adjust these points, and you could see we could just keep fine-tuning till we get what we want. Move this here. Maybe we have this as his sword, and I could try many effects, color effects, and just keep playing around with something till I get what I want, right? So we have an idea of how the color blends will work. So in the next class we are going to talk about masks and how we use them in our project. So I'll see you then.